Well, thank you very much for being here at the annual meeting of the Polish Cardiac Society. It's a great honor and a pleasure to represent the ESC here. And I would like to first congratulate the Polish Cardiac Society with an excellent congress. What is the ESC constituted of? I think the ESC constitutes of mainly national cardiac societies. At this year, we have 56 national cardiac societies, all different societies throughout Europe that are part of the ESC, but more important, forming the ESC. These are the backbone of the society, if you like. In addition to that, we have associations. There was a new association formed at the last ESC meeting in Amsterdam. It is now the Association of Cardiovascular Imaging. And then we have working groups. A lot of people get together in working groups and where they discuss among themselves the different topics in clinical cardiology, but also more basic science. Basic science is particularly important. And then you have the councils, where basic science represents a strong part with the Basic Science Council, but you also have the Council for Nursing, for clinical cardiovascular practice, and for general practitioners. So actually the ESC covers national societies, associations, working groups, and councils. So very broad portfolio, if I would say so. The engagement of the Polish Cardiac Society is very important. The ESC has the top 10 largest countries of the national societies, and Poland is within the top 5. So the Polish Cardiac Society is very important for the ESC. And we reach out not only to the Polish Cardiac Society, but also to the other cardiac societies. We go and visit, like today, your national society meetings. The Polish Cardiac Society is also quite represented well in the ESC. It takes part in the major organs such as guideline committees, in the journals, editorial boards, but also in working groups, associations. So the Polish Cardiac Society is very well integrated, embedded, and represented in the ESC. There are 4 new guidelines this year released. The first one is stable angina, stable coronary artery disease, actually one should say. And the second one is cardiac pacing, the third one is diabetes, and the fourth one is hypertension. Now this already shows that only the very big topics are most of the time addressed in the ESC guidelines. Very clinically relevant and broad topics, such as diabetes and hypertension, which are a bit overreaching cardiology, but reaching also to internal medicine and endocrinology. Then cardiac pacing was, of course, a very important guideline. And the last one, stable coronary artery disease, which is a sort of a mixture of pharmacology, interventional, but also diagnosis. And there was a big part this time on diagnosis, risk stratification with non-invasive imaging. Well, I think what is very important within the ESC is that you have now this track being developed. I mentioned here Lino Gonçalves, who is one of the key persons in this track, and it's called the ESC Learning Platform. The ESC Learning Platform is education online that the ESC is providing. This is sort of a platform that's being more and more integrated in all the different national cardiac societies, and it forms the basis for a fundamental and equal basic education throughout the European ESC countries. It started with an interventional platform, and now there's being developed a more clinical cardiology platform. So actually this learning online, where all the cardiologists can access the same material, go through cases, go through images, go through questions. There are multiple choice questions there. This learning online is becoming very important. This is specifically very important in view of the mobility of the young cardiologists nowadays, because you see that throughout Europe there's a lot of movement and exchange temporarily or permanently of cardiologists among the different countries. And it will become more and more important that there is some fundamental, comparable, basic cardiology training. And the ESC is really reaching out for that point. So my advice to the young practicing cardiologists is take a look at this. Take a look at the interventional and the clinical platform of ESC. My impression is excellent. I have visited a lot of countries and in the past year, and what I see here, there's so much activity, there's so many different sessions. It's a beautiful congress and very well visited. And also there's a lot of reflections on the ESC that happened in Amsterdam. For example, there was the Best of European Heart Journal session, but there's also this session organized by the young cardiologists where they actually summarize in big blocks the ESC of 2013. I attended the first 2 sessions of that, and it was really excellent. So my congratulations to your Congress and to the Polish Cardiac Society.